Life only feels complicated when you don't understand the rules. Here's the moment I realised that. I was in the pub this weekend just gone. It's a cold, dark November day, and me and a few of my mates, we're all tucked into this pub in front of the TV, watching a game of the Autumn Nations rugby. It's England v Argentina, and it's teeing up to be a really, really good game. There's a good clash between England and Argentina, and England are on a high. They've just beaten the All Blacks the previous week, and Argentina are really coming for them. They've got some good scalps under their belt as well. They beat the Lions in the summer, and yeah, they're going to go for England. So I'm really excited about this game as a rugby fan, and some of the lads that I was with were football fans, and so they didn't really understand rugby. I suppose they thought, as most people who haven't watched rugby before, that the aim of the game basically is to just chuck the ball to the big bloke. He'll run up, smash through somebody, and that's kind of how rugby is played. And yeah, there is that to it. There's a lot of passing it to the big bloke and crashing the ball up. But actually rugby's a really complex and tactical game, and there is a lot that goes into it. A lot of plays, a lot of playbooks, and yeah, lots of different skill sets as well within a team. It's quite a complicated game on the surface if you don't understand what's going on. And so as I was sat there with these football fans, they started asking me questions about what was going on as the match started, why certain things were happening, why someone got the ball to put in them, why there was a penalty given, or why someone was allowed to kick at that point. And so I started to explain the rules to them. Now, I don't profess to be an expert on rugby. I'm very much an amateur casual fan, but I have watched it for years and I do really enjoy it, and I used to play when I was younger. And yeah, so as I was explaining the rules to them, I realised they were actually, one of them especially, was really starting to understand what was going on. And when a play happened, he would turn to me and say, "So that happened because of this, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's correct." Or "No, that isn't," or "There's a little bit more to it, but this is, yeah, basically why that happened." And so as we went through the match, they started to get more into the game. They started to understand a little more about what was happening. And when some good plays were made, they understood why they had been made, what had caused them, or why it was a good thing. And that moment when I realised that they hadn't really been interested in rugby or hadn't got into the game before, it was because they didn't understand what was going on. And when someone took the time to explain it to them, and they built up a little bit of confidence in understanding, okay, this is why this happens, or this is why this happens. This is why the big bloke with the ball crashed into this guy, and there was a penalty given. For example, when someone turned over the ball at the ruck. And so, yeah, it really opened my eyes to seeing that actually complexity in life is often because we just don't understand the rules around something. And when we come to understand, okay, this is why I need to do X, Y, and Z, it becomes much easier for us to simplify our lives and actually start to enjoy them as well. And I found this myself when it came to my general health and well-being, and also finding purpose in my life as well. I, for a long while, I understood parts of it perhaps. I knew that, okay, the ball needs to go over the line, that scores me points, and the big guy needs to crash it up at some point. That's a good thing. But I didn't understand the complexities of my life. I didn't understand the fine-tuning bits, the tactics, the reason why certain things were happening. And so it took me a while to build a system and come to understand how my health impacted my mental health, how my mental health impacted my spiritual health, and vice versa. And then also to see how certain habits in my life were impacting on me positively or negatively. For example, coming out for a nice walk in the fresh air, the sun's shining, and getting out and immersing myself in nature. When I started to notice that, okay, after I do this thing, I feel better for a while, and I quite often resist actually coming out for a walk because it feels like effort. And once I understood that resistance to coming out for a walk was basically because I didn't want to leave my comfort zone, my house, my comfortable place. You know, it was a different temperature outside. It was going to take time out of my day. And until I understood that I had to frame that walk as something that I knew was going to reward me rather than take from me, I wouldn't go and do it. And I would often procrastinate or put it off or just not do it altogether. And so when we start to frame parts of our life and we start to dive deeper into the reasoning behind the rules, you know, why are we doing the things we're doing? Why are we doing the bad habits? Why are we doing the good habits? What are we getting from each? Are we spending lots of time scrolling on our phone simply because we're a bit addicted to our phones? We like the dopamine rush of scrolling, or is it actually something deeper? Are we covering up a numbness or a sense of being lost or purposeless that then gets transposed into our phone addictions? And when you can start to understand the rules that are impacting your life, it strips away some of that complexity and you start to simplify in your mind, okay, I need to do X because it gives me Y result. And you can then start to manipulate how you do certain things in your life, such as exercise or reading or praying, things that you know are going to help you in your life, but you may not be doing them at the moment. You can strip them back, understand, okay, what is the core thing I need to do, and then you can go and do it. And so I built this system, this framework, this blueprint in my life that helped me to strip back that complexity. It helped me to understand the rules about why I was doing certain things and why I was feeling a certain way. And I've actually packaged that up into a short ebook that's linked down in the description, completely for free. So if you're feeling that life is really complicated at the moment and you don't really understand the rules as to why you're in the position you're in, but you know you want to move forward, you want to understand more, and you want to begin to enjoy your life again, that ebook will really help you to take those positive steps. That's it for today. Thanks ever so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, like, comment, and yeah, until next time, take care and God bless.